Welcome back to the second video in App Inventor Beginner series. In this video, we will actually create an app using App Inventor. So first of all, what you have to do is go to the website of App Inventor, and then you need to sign in with your Google account. If you don't have a Google account, then please do create one. You will find a blank and clear space after signing in. It is a projects area where a list of projects that you create will be available. But as of now, as we have not created any project and it's the first time that you're visiting this website, it's completely blank. So in order to fill this blank space, you need to create projects. So let us create a project. Here on the left hand side, you have Start New Project button. Click that button and now it will open a pop-up where you need to add a name for your project. There are some rules for adding a name to your project. The name of the project cannot have spaces between the words or letters. It cannot have a special character like percentile, hyphen, or anything else like that. It can only contain letters, numbers, and underscores. I have added the name as a counter. So we will be creating a counter app where when you tap a button, the value of a number will be increased. It will be very amazing to know how you will be using simple maths in this project. So after adding the name, it will open the project. And here on the left hand side, we have different components in the user interface section. And from that, drag a label component. So this is a label component. Drag and drop it here on the mobile screen that you are seeing. So this is a label component, and now it's a part of the app that we are creating after we have dragged and dropped it here. And this is the way you should add components in your app in order to include it. After adding this label, let us add another component, which is a button. It is available here at the top. Drag it and drop it here. Let the label be above the button. If you have just misplaced and if the button is at the top of the label, then please drag it below the label 1 component. So this is a simple way of just moving the components within the app. So this is a part of designing, right? You move the components, arrange them properly. All this stuff is a part of designing. The label component here is used to show any text to the user, and the button component is used to note the interaction from the user. So whenever the user clicks or taps the button, we will get to know it from the block section, and there we can do some other background stuff, which I will explain it later in this lecture. The interface is not so good. Let us make some adjustments to it. So in order to make the adjustments, first of all, come here on the right hand side of the screen. We have the components tab, and here we have the screen 1. Click this screen 1, and then you have the properties tab where the properties of the screen 1 component are visible. From there, the align horizontal option is available. Just change that from left to center. It was actually left. We have changed it to center, and you can note the changes directly visible here on the phone screen. The components were actually on the left hand side before we have changed the horizontal alignment to center, and now it's on the center of the screen. In the same way, change the vertical alignment to center, and this is how I need the app to be as of now. The button and the label present at the center of the screen. After that, select the label 1 component. You can select the component right here on the screen, or else you can select it here in the components tab. For example, if I select button 1, now the properties of button 1 will be visible. If I will select the label 1, properties of label 1 component will be visible. I can even select this in the same way, the components within this phone screen. So let us change few properties of the label 1 component. In the properties section, let us first of all change the font size of this label 1 component. I want to make it 80. It is actually 14. Let me change it to 80. And okay, don't get confused. I will show you what I actually want. So there is a lot of text, and hence most of the text is not visible because we have increased the font size more than the permissible limit. Okay. However, come back to the properties section, and here in the text section, just replace this text, that is text for label 1, with a number 0 and click enter. So this is what I wanted, hence that's why I have chosen 80 as a font size. After changing the properties of label 1, now select button 1, and here first of all let us change its text to a plus symbol. So I have changed it, and after changing its text, let me change its font size to 25. Yeah, now it seems pretty good. You can see the addition button and even the text are clearly visible, and it is easy for the user to use it. So this completes the design process of the app. We finally have a look that is good enough. The components are clearly visible and easy to use. Now let us test our app. In order to test it, you need to download the AI Companion. I have created another tutorial where I have explained about how to download the AI Companion and what are the different other methods which you can use to test the app. The link is provided in the description. You can watch the video and come back here after downloading the AI Companion or choosing any other methods for testing the app. So here is our app, and this is Android emulator that I'm using. If you have watched that video, then you must probably know what an emulator is. The design of our app looks good, and when I click this button, you can see that it is not functioning. It is not functioning for an obvious reason because we haven't yet added any functionality using the blocks. So let us go to the block section in order to add the functionality using the blocks. So I'm back to App Inventor, and let me go to the block section. Here in the block section, on the left hand side, you have built-in blocks, and the blocks of different components are available. Usually, these blocks will not be visible all together. You need to click the categories, and once you click the category, you will get the list of blocks that are under it. So for control blocks, if I want it, then I have to click this category, and if I want a math block, then I have to click it. Similarly, I need to select the component to access its blocks. You can clearly see here the blocks of the label 1 component. They are very simple. They just provide the information of the background color or just allow us to set the background color. So the properties of the components or the features of the components can be found or can be changed here in the block section. After selecting the label 1 component, I need to drag this block called setLabel1.text block. So this block will actually allow me to change the text that is being shown with the help of this label 1 component. You can also get to know about what a particular block does by just keeping the cursor over it. And after just dragging this block, I need to drag another block which is the more important one. It is a block called WhenButton1.click. So select the button 1 component and drag this block saying WhenButton1.click. This block is known as an event block, and it will perform the different activities that are given to it whenever the user clicks the button or taps the button. So you need to attach whatever the operation that you want to perform to this block in order for that operation to happen whenever the button will be clicked. After that, I will select this math block category, and from here I will drag this addition block. So it will return the sum of two numbers that are provided in these sockets, and I will attach it to this block which is setLabel1.text2. Initially, what I want to find here or what I want to connect here is the current number being shown with the label 1 component. In order to know the number that is being shown with the label 1 component, you need to use a block saying label1.text. This block will return the value of the number or the text that is being shown with the help of label1. After that, as our main goal is to increase the value of the number by 1 whenever the button 1, that is the addition button, is being clicked. So I need to add in this socket number 1. So back to the math block category and drag this block which is representing the number 0, and you need to edit it and change its value to 1. So now you can clearly understand what this complete block is doing. Whenever the button 1 will be clicked, it will trigger an operation where the text of the label 1 will be changed, and the value that it will replace will be the value of previous number increased by 1. So after adding all these blocks, we need to test the app. So let me open the emulator, and now let me click the button 1, and you can see the value of the label 1 is changed. It is performing the addition operation. So hooray, it's working, and you have created a simple counter app. The components have different features. You add them in your app when you need, then you arrange them properly and change their properties to ensure a good user interface. You add different components to use their features, and to use their features, you need to go to the blocks section. Here, you will use their blocks and create different operations. And this is what we have done in this tutorial. Firstly, we have added the button and label components. Then we have aligned them to the center of the screen. Next, we have changed their properties such as text and font size. Then we have moved to the block section to create an addition operation. Hope you have found it easy to understand the process of creating the app using App Inventor. We'll be using the same method to add more and more features to our app.